Welcome again to the big match, when once again the weather has torn apart the FA Cup programme. And here's what English football had to contend with yesterday: snow and ice almost everywhere, as indeed here at Nottingham, and it meant that only 5 fourth-round ties were played. Nevertheless, we had cameras at 3 of them, and our main game comes from Ipswich, where the cup holders faced an in-form Orient.
Osman's gone forward, Beat is in there, as you can see. And it's Osman they're aiming for. Oh, my word!
But look here, a pitch without snow and ice as Newcastle face Wolves.
Just getting it back from Wynn. Closed down quickly.
But plenty of it here as Nottingham Forest take on the underdogs York City from the 4th Division.
Woodcock then with the corner. Lloyd's up in the box, Birtle's on the near post. As Burns goes in. Oh.
We hear from Forest assistant manager Peter Taylor that Forest have made a bid for Birmingham's Trevor Francis. We shall also be giving you a complete rundown of the matches coming up this week. And sportsmanship and sparkling action are the ingredients of our letters this week. But first we go to Ipswich, where they paraded the FA Cup before the game against 2nd Division Orient. What a day for the ball boys and the club mascot for the day. And one man, of course, who played a big part in taking the cup to Suffolk was Kevin Beattie, so often a giant in their defence. But, of course, for Arnold Muren, this FA Cup business is still a bit strange, though his undoubted skill is now beginning to shine through after his move over from Holland. This, then, is the Ipswich side. No real problems for manager Bobby Robson. There was a small doubt about the fitness of keeper Paul Cooper, but he's all right. Eric Gates is the substitute. 11 goals in their last 3 games, but they've played only 3 times since Boxing Day. As for their visitors from London, Orient, they've taken 14 points from the last 18, but they've had a couple of worries this week. Ian Moores, number 8, has had flu all week and only got out of bed to play today. And Tony Grealish, the number 4, passed a test on a back injury less than an hour before the start. Here's striker Peter Kitchen, whose goal scoring took Orient to the semi-finals last season. And of course, since then, Ralph Coates, so long at Tottenham, has joined the club.
And a lot of credit to this man here, Trilford Mills, the referee from Barnsley, who inspected the Portman Road pitch at 10 o'clock this morning. Gambled a little bit as he gets us underway, but with the help of the local groundsman as well, who suggested that there might be enough give in the turf come 3 o'clock, which in fact is the way it's turned out to be. Both sides in fact able to wear a short stud on this snow-covered pitch. Ipswich in the white, attacking the goals to our right, and Orient in their familiar all-red. 2 sides who know so much about the cup. Ipswich, who won it in glory at Wembley last season. Orient, of course, who had the despair of being beaten semi-finalists against Arsenal. Well, a free kick then to Mick Mills is swinging in there, and up goes John Jackson with a good safe gather for Orient. So it's now with Coates for Orient. Back for Nigel Gray, a long high up and under there. Osman underneath it and Kitchen, and it might come now for Moores. It might come for Mayo. He tried a shot. It could come for Moores, and it called for a good save by Cooper. And Orient could so easily have gone into the lead there when that long ball dropped down, and Kitchen was involved in it in the first place. Mayo and Moores both looked as though they might get a stab at it. In the end, it was Moores who shot it through a crowd, and Cooper did well. Walk finding Muren. And Muren, a little bit of acceleration. And the shot very far off target. Well, the Ipswich crowd are shouting for Arnie. Arnold Muren. Mayo. Chidozie heading it on. Kitchen with the slip. And the ball coming off Chidozie for an Ipswich throw. Grealish. And now Beattie losing it to Moores. Now for Mayo. Here's some space for Chidozie. And Mayo. Oh, there was space there for Mayo when Chidozie crossed that one in. Caught it on the half volley, in fact. Coates. That's a very good ball there by Coates. Always going to embarrass Mayo. Mayo, number 9. Gets it away, but not very far. Murin. Play on, said the referee. Finding Mills. Beattie coming into Marvellous save. The Orient defenders applauding this man, and no wonder. And Mariner commiserating with Beattie, and no wonder. He hit that beautifully. But what a save by John Jackson there. So it's Woods with the corner. Curled in. Jackson fisting it away. It looks as though it's going to be one of those afternoons for Jackson. Tibbett, time to consider a lot of things. In fact, the whistle had gone. And it's a free kick. What a marvellous save that was, though, because when Beattie hits them, they stay hit. Here's Ian Moores. Now Burley. Comes for Mayo. And now Murin to Mariner. Swiftly played back for Burley. And Mariner going on, but finding Went the barrier. And a throw for Ipswich. John Walk with it. Mariner, nice ball played inside. Ian Moore's there, Walk crossing it, and Jackson's there again. Lovely ball played there inside Ian Moore's, it was, of Orient. But again, Jackson doing so well. Two sides that only met once before in the FA Cup. That was way back in 1950 at Orient when Ipswich won 2-1. Walk playing it short for Murin. Now for Tibbett, the Welshman. On for Murin again. In for Clive Woods. Running at Fisher. Having really frightened Orient there with a really aggressive run into their box. Got onto the right foot, which in fact was the wrong one. Way off target. And Went not holding Weimark that time, and Walk finding Woods. Grealish hobbling a little, trying to get somewhere near Woods. Woods poking it through towards Mills. Burley with the shot and clearing that Orient crossbar. Well, the format is constant at the moment, that they are pushing men in there, they are getting in their shots. They're not really finding the target. Woods. Cross coming in again towards Weimark, and again, I think it was Roffey that time who got the good header in. Here's Kitchen. Just couldn't quite find Ian Moores, and here's more pressure for the Orient defence to soak up as Mills takes it up again. Burley outside him. Mills with the cross, and what a good one, and what a good fist away by Jackson. That was a lovely cross by Mills, always tempting somebody to come onto it, and always swinging that little bit away from the keeper. But Jackson again did so well. Murin. Well, is it a last gasp goal for Ipswich in this first half? Woods again with the cross, and it's a good one towards Mariner. Up he gets, and again the fists of Jackson. Moore's not getting it far away, and the shot in the end was over the top. So a goal kick for Orient. Crowd are booing the referee, and in fact there were some complaints by the Ipswich players there. They felt there was an Orient infringement in that area. I didn't see what it could possibly have been, and the referee paid no attention to it. And so yet again it's John Jackson taking a goal kick for Orient. And that's the last kick of the first half. The first half of fighting in defence for Orient, which they've done supremely well. They've been quite unruffled by everything that Ipswich have flung at them, and there's been plenty. And of course, John Jackson made a tremendous save from Kevin Beattie here. A really marvellous shot by him, left foot, which Jackson turned away superbly. Really the highlight of the first half. But so far, so good then for the second division side, Orient. Half-time then, we've got so much more to come on the big match today. The half-time here at Portman Road is Ipswich 0, Orient 0, and we'll be back with the second half.
Gas, lecky, insurance. Ah, letter from Jane. I think I'll do these first. 087000845. As if it wasn't bad enough having to make these calls.
Quotes.
I have to pay to make them.
Unlike with most companies, calls to 0845 and 0870 numbers are now free with BT.
Free? Hi, Jane. The answer's yes.
Free within your inclusive call time.
Love film?
Well, yeah.
We send them, you watch them, then mail them back to us when you're finished. It's that simple.
That's good.
Go to lovefilm.com.
I am Alexander, founder of CompareTheMeerkat.com, where we compare meerkats. Size, hobbies, you know. But lately we get many people looking for car insurance. People looking for CompareTheMarket.com. I cannot find you cheap car insurance. For Compare Meerkats, come to CompareTheMeerkat.com. For easy way to save on car insurance, please go to CompareTheMarket.com. Simples.
Come and join the friendliest online bingo community at livebingo.com. Free to play and you can win loads of great prizes. Save your pennies, just clickety-click onto livebingo.com today.
They're after you. Get out fast.
When pain strikes, new formula Nurofen Express targets pain twice as fast as standard Nurofen tablets. Go for a fast option. Nurofen Express targets pain twice as fast.
How do you decide what's effective for your very dry skin? E45 cream is medically proven. E45 cream is designed to soothe and treat all the family's dry skin, even eczema. Dermatological E45, the #1 selling brand for dry skin.
It's an evil job having to refill your toilet block, but with new Harpic Hygienic, there's no mess and no germy cage to touch. Harpic Hygienic helps leave your toilet squeaky clean.
It's the moment of truth, so let's find out how our volunteers have got on. 4.9. 4.3.
No. Wow. I don't believe that.
4.9.
No.
Fantastic.
I can't believe it. No. I don't believe... That's amazing.
The plant sterols in Flora Proactive are clinically proven to lower cholesterol by 10 to 15%. But as you've just seen, individual results can vary. So if you'd like to reduce your cholesterol, start now with Flora Proactive. No other food lowers cholesterol more.
I am concerned about matters in St. Nicholas School.
Behind these walls,
Father Flynn called Donald Miller to the rectory.
It's happened.
there is suspicion.
What exactly are you accusing me of?
Behind these walls, there is a mystery.
I don't think Father Flynn did anything wrong.
Then why do you look like you've seen the devil?
Behind these walls,
What did you hear? What did you see that convinced you so thoroughly?
only one thing is certain. Doubt in cinemas February 6.
The best players in the world, the best atmosphere in the world, at the home of darts.
He's after this 9-darter.
32 of the best players on the planet. In dartscoral.co.uk Players' Championship starts Friday at 12:30 and then at 6 on ITV4.
So Ralph Coates and Peter Kitchen get us away at the start of the second half as we welcome you back to Portman Road, 0-0 at half-time. Although you tend to think that it might well be another case of whether or not Orient's defence, good though it's been in the first 45 minutes, can hold on for another 45. Well, at the moment they are making strides forward with the Ralph Coates and the interception there by Burley. Both sides, in fact, got to this fourth round, having beaten third division sides in the previous round. Ipswich beating Carlisle 3-2, and Orient beating Bury by the same score. Back by Bill Roffey to John Jackson. If you're finding it difficult to see the ball, we apologise for that. Bobby Robson was saying before the game that he didn't feel that they could play with a white ball. And I gather that neither side was particularly happy with the very bright orange type of ball. It is also sometimes in use. And Weimark waiting in the middle for the cross with Woods and with Muren. And Paul went again there with a header. Here's Walk with a shot, deflected off Paul Went and knocked him cold. Well, Walk caught that, an absolute beauty. Paul Went wouldn't agree. Well, I would have thought cold water on a day like this is the last thing anyone would want, but it's probably just what's required for Paul Went to bring him round and to battle on. He's had a really magnificent game. Beattie, Mariner, Walk. It's gone a long way. And no penalty given. No, the referee shaking his head. Well, that was real touch and go there. As Weimark went in there, the ball always seemed to be running away from Orient there, and Weimark went in. Down he went. And a brave decision that by the referee, and a hairline one as well. No penalty for Weimark. Free kick now for Ipswich, which provokes a few ironic cheers in the crowd. They really felt strongly about that penalty a moment ago. Mills now lining it up. Osman's gone forward. Beattie's in there, as you can see. And it's Osman they're aiming for. Oh, my word! That's as close as he'll ever come to scoring without actually putting it into the back of the net. Osman, who'd made a good run. In fact, you saw him running past Mills as Mills was preparing to take that free kick. Ran on, and it was aimed by Mick Mills towards Beattie and Osman, and it was Osman's header. Well, it just nicked the base of the post. Oh. Skidding off there beyond Ian Moores. The linesman flagging that it's an Orient throw, which they thought it was. The referee saying no, it nicked off an Orient player, and I think Orient might have been slightly wrong-footed by that. This with Burley. And it's Woods header. Minus a fist away. Well, Woods was right in there. And I thought that Weimark might be able to nick it, but in fact Jackson plunged in there, could only push it out as far as Arnold Muren. And over the top she went. Another chance goes begging for Ipswich. Well, Beattie could be in trouble there, and it was a kick by Coates, who I think was genuinely going for the ball, but he miscalculated badly there, and in fact kicked well over the ball and straight into Beattie, and Beattie, as you can see, is in a lot of pain there. Coates, well, he's not the sort of guy who would deliberately go over the top. I think it was a bad piece of judgment on his part, this incident here, which clearly causes a lot of pain for Kevin Beattie. So Coates at least is all right. And Beattie's all right to go on. Well, that's good news. Aim towards Mariner on the far side. It's Mariner's header. Woods getting in there, and it might come for Woods. In fact, it's Gray and Roffey who crowd him out again. A throw for Ipswich. Woods on that far touch line to see whether he can possibly worm his way past Roffey. Bill Roffey claiming that was an Orient throw. That's certainly an Ipswich throw. Early with it, finding Woods. Now, interesting ball, that one. And nobody quite knows where it is for the moment. Now Walk does! Oh, just wide again. Those high up and unders on this frozen surface are always causing trouble, and that one left 3 or 4 players not quite sure where the ball was. And it came to Walk, who knew exactly where it was, and his aim, well, he was just no more than 6 inches out. Muren. They'll certainly not relish a replay, Ipswich, and maybe they won't have to bother about one, no. It's with Woods. It's with Tibbett. And again, that delicate cross coming in. Again, they're all up there, just over the top, though. Mariner holds his head. It was a good header as that cross came in, and the crowd here at Portman Road at first thought it had gone under the bar. In fact, it was just over. Well, a nice, a lovely picture that is. Gray and Mariner in the heat of the battle, still able to have a good joke as it reaches the tense last 10 minutes of this game. Beattie. Mills. Muren touching it on. Orient getting it away again. Mills playing it wide for Burley this time. Ipswich crowd now desperate for a goal. Whole play in this second half has been confined to that third of the field that Woods is invading again, this time with a shot pushed away by Jackson. What a hero he's been. Woods curving inside and putting in a good ground shot. And now Woods with this corner. Can Orient hang on? Whacked away again by Ian Moores this time, but only Kitchen up. And back it goes to Cooper. Mariner's header, falling though for Roffey. Forward to Coates. Out jump though by Tibbett, and here come Ipswich again. Here's Muren. Mills, Mariner, Muren, all the M's, Mills again. And now Burley, what a lovely ball by Mills! Oh! How did he get that over the bar? Burley put through most beautifully there by Mick Mills. What a ball that was inside the defender. And Burley contriving to scoop it over the crossbar. And the Ipswich crowd are now urging their side for one last big effort to get rid of this cup tie for good and all. But play on, said the referee. Wymark with time to cross, with men in there as well. Muren nodding it down. Played again for Woods. Hit straight at Coates. Comes to Muren. Chipped in again. That time it was Moores who only half got it away. Walk in trouble, and Orient still in trouble with a player down injured, and Ipswich coming again. Woods crossing it in low as a variation. Coates getting in the way. Chidozie now with a chance to bring it away. And a foul on the little Orient number 7. Well, Orient are going to need him in the 4 to 5 minutes that remain. Chidozie with the throw. And again with the cross. Nobody there to take advantage of it. Muren's left foot finding Woods, and away come Ipswich again. Mills. Coates going with him. That's the cross by Mills, and Muren coming up on the far side. Wymark with a chance to tee it up. Oh, and what a save again by Jackson. And in the end, it's Mariner who puts it wide. what a tremendous save again by John Jackson. Just look at that for goalkeeping reactions. And although he only half got it away, Mariner couldn't finish it off. Chidozie playing it forward. Here's Coates. Well, maybe Orient will find something now. Coates really on his way. Chased by Osman. And Cooper's right out there. And in the end, they couldn't quite get it home. Well, after all that defending, they very nearly sneaked the goal that mattered there. A great run by Ralph Coates. Under pressure from Osman all the way. But not quite the finishing touch to put it beyond Paul Cooper. Well into stoppage time now. Without a goal. But a tremendous performance by that Orient defence. Can they just hold out these last few seconds? Slight misunderstanding there between Gray and Roffey, but Moores with a chance to play it wide and Roffey with a chance to get it away. But all he's done, in fact, is given it to Osman. So back it comes again. Here's Mills. Oh, at the death, Burley's right in there. Wymark's right in there. Oh, and Jackson has done it again. Look at Wymark's face, he can't believe it. It looked as though Orient had to be unlocked right at the finish there. But that man, John Jackson, was there again, and it stays at 0-0. Mayo playing it through the referee's legs to Coates. Coates telling Chidozie to go down that wing. It's an Orient throw, referee looking at his watch again. Grealish, quite rightly, putting it down the line. Less danger can come there, but wait a moment. Here comes Coates. And another Orient throw. They are almost there. Well, the three First Division sides they beat on their cup run last season, Middlesbrough, Norwich and Chelsea, all had to go to a replay, and with that final whistle, Orient have taken Ipswich to a replay at Brisbane Road. What a brilliant defensive performance by the O's, not least by John Jackson, their goalkeeper extraordinary, but also by the defence as a whole. John Jackson, a whole string of brilliant saves, a superb one from Beattie in the first half, and then even in the dying seconds of the game, that marvellous save when it looked almost certain that Trevor Mymark would have scored the goal to put Ipswich into the next round. It wasn't going to happen though, so John Jackson and the whole of his Orient defence deserve every bit of praise for a really fantastic fight over 90 minutes here at Portman Road. The final score then here at Portman Road, which is Ipswich 0, Orient 0.
Well, the popular hero amongst the O's fans must be that remarkable man John Jackson, a genuine pro, now some 36 years old, but seemingly as good as ever. Though for my money, Paul Went, so strong in that Orient defence, wasn't far behind when it came to credit. I spoke to them after the game and first asked John Jackson about those conditions at Ipswich.
First half was the worst because that end the sun never got at, so it's a little bit dodgy, like, you know, and I think that was a doubt in the referee's mind when we played today, whether it was going to be fit because of that end.
Yes.
I was pleased we defended that end first anyway, because as the sun went down, obviously it was going to get worse and worse.
Yes. But another stream of brilliant saves by you that's kept the team in the game.
Incredible,
well,
isn't it? Yeah, quite incredible.
No,
yeah, very, very well.
You know,
Played very well. One of the best performances I think I've seen on my career from a keeper.
Really?
Absolutely great, yeah. If it wasn't for him, well, I think we'd have been out for 4 or 5.
You were great and all.
Oh, no, that's the only reason I said that, actually,
right.
yeah.
But I thought when you see this, look at him. Look,
yeah, let's have a look at, if we can get in on Paul's eye there, which, my word, that's an enormous bump there. How did that happen?
I caught the side of Trevor Wymark's head. We both went up for a ball in the first half. We had a clash of heads and that was it.
And then you were walloped by...
Yeah, John Moore. Yeah, I tried to get out of the way of John, but as soon as it left his foot, I lost it. Yeah, it caught me on this side, just on the bump in the nose. But yeah.
But it was a strong defensive performance overall by Orient today, Paul, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the defensive performance started from the front. It was all 11. You can easily say, you know, as people have said, the two at the back and the keeper played well, but nobody can play well without the other 11. And I think all 11 played very well.
Overall team performance out there today. Everyone, obviously, you know, they're going to say they're better than us because they're in the First Division. So to come here and get a draw in the way we had to defend, obviously we weren't going to be able to come there and play them off the park.
No.
I think that was...
No, that's right. I mean,
that
you
just
don't
shows what a good
come
team
here,
the
obviously. We
Forest
didn't come to defend, believe it or not. But you can't expect to go to Ipswich or places like this and run them off the park. You're obviously going to take a lot of pressure. The main thing is not to concede a goal. If we can go away from home in every game we play and not concede a goal, we'll be very happy at the end of the season.
Yes. Well, Orient rightly with a lot to be happy about. But not so the Ipswich manager, Bobby Robson, who picked out a special tie from his wardrobe when he came to the game yesterday.
Bobby, you're wearing your Wembley 1978 tie. I think if you're going to get there and win the cup again, at least you're doing it the hard way this time, inching past Carlisle of the 3rd Division in the last round, and now a 0-0 draw here. What's your reaction to today's result?
Well, I can only be disappointed because, to be blunt, but to be honest, we should have seen them off. I said to players, it's hard to believe that there has been such a one-sided match at this level, because they got in through our defence so very few times, maybe three at the end of the day, I suppose, whereas we must have had 140 attacks. In fact, I think we had, what, 3 attacks every minute, 90 minutes in a full game of football. In fact, there was a period in the second half there for quarter of an hour when, you know, we couldn't get them out of their half. We had the ball and just kept attacking, breaking down, attacking, breaking down, attacking. I thought, well, something's got to break now. Something's got to crumble, but the wall held firm. Jackson in behind the wall was heroic. He's had a marvellous match. He's made some terrific saves, 5 in all, I would have said, quite excellent. And, you know, they've snatched a wonderful, credible draw.
Our second cup tie today is between Newcastle United, now managed by Bill McGarry, against Wolves, the club that used to be managed by him. And it's amazing to find a playing surface as good as this one at St James's Park, where the game was covered by Yorkshire Television, the commentator's Martin Tyler, with Newcastle in the stripes.
Kenny Hibbett. And they're letting it run. Full court. Natchez getting it back from Wynn. Closed down quickly. Getting in his strike at goal, and a fine one it was too from Irving Natchez. He has been battling in recent months against injury. Such a good player when he's fully fit, and plenty of quality in the shot. Daniel. Barton's header will come down for Daly. It's a little indecisive, the header out from David Barton. And it came into the path of Steve Daly, wasted no time getting the shot in. With Guy. It's kindly for McMartin. Now Brownlee, 3 waiting for the cross. Peter with his one, and it's so simple. He's been the most effective attacker on the field in these difficult circumstances, and it's fair reward for Peter With. Brownlee's cross, and With getting in totally unmarked. Thank you very much. Hibbett's mistake. Terry Hibbett. With back for McGee. Guy going in for the cross. They combined well there, the 3 front men. Mark McGee receiving it from Peter With, and then picking out Alan Guy with a cross. Flicked header at the near post. Kenny Hibbett's header. And Terry Hibbett, his message is quite clear. Take no chances now with barely 5 minutes remaining. Daniel. Carr. And Kenny Hibbett's onside and equalises.
silence envelops St James's Park. And Wolves' captain comes up with just what was required in what was becoming a desperate situation. The drop kindly for him, and he's one of the best volleyers in the business. And he made no mistake.
And that replay is on Tuesday at Wolverhampton. But now it's time for your letters, and a very warm reaction, really, to our interview last week with that great old Arsenal star, Ted Drake. Perhaps the nicest letter, I think, came from Mrs. R.C. Horn of 9 Poplar House, Langley Slough in Berkshire, who remembers seeing Ted play on the Queen's Park Rangers ground many years ago, and she remembers it for the very good reason that during the kick-in before the game, Ted kicked the ball smack into her face. Oh, he was so upset, says Mrs. Horn, especially as I was a woman. He came to me at half-time and after the match to see how I was. What a gentleman he was and is. I don't want you to run away with the idea that there are no gentlemen in the game today, because so many of you noticed a special act of sportsmanship by the Arsenal goalkeeper, Pat Jennings, at the end of the game between Arsenal and Nottingham Forest a couple of weeks ago. Michael Rooney of 74 Crossway Plimpton in Plymouth, Mr. F. Wilkinson of 10 St. Birinus, Flackwell Heath, High Wycombe in Buckinghamshire, and Robert Palos of 2 Reynolds Drive, Edgware in Middlesex all noticed how Pat courteously allowed all the visitors to leave the field first at the end of that game. There goes Peter Shilton in, and Pat now waiting at the entrance to the tunnel. And I think anybody who knows this big, amiable Irishman would say, well, that's the sort of thing that you'd expect from Pat Jennings. A lot of people say he should be our personality of the month, footballer of the year, and goodness knows what else. A final handshake to Viv Anderson there. That's Pat Jennings. We've often paid tribute in the past to our eagle-eyed young viewers, and Ian Belfield of 30 Albert Road, Rayleigh in Essex, is another of them. He noticed that Fulham's Peter Marinello was wearing his shorts back to front against Sunderland last week. Was it so they couldn't tell whether he was coming or going, asked Ian. In fact, we look here, you can see John Beck there with the trademark we've arrowed there on the front of his shorts, and Peter Marinello with that trademark on the back. In fact, it's a nice little story. The first time Peter played for Fulham, by accident, he put his shorts on back to front. He thought he played rather well, and now, as a superstition, he doesn't see why he should change. So Peter Marinello always wears his shorts back to front. Our last letter today brings with it some sparkling action from the last World Cup. And with all the wretched snow and ice around, a bit of sunshine as well. Rodney Hayes of Newbury Park in Essex was thrilled with some of the spectacular long-range goals from Holland that were a feature of last summer's World Cup in Argentina, and wonders if we could all warm ourselves up again by seeing them once more.
Good running here by Brent Brink. Oh, what a goal! Johnny Rex. Big number 4. Roosman's never very far away from Redman. He's going to drive it. And he hit the bar. And Brink long, and he's in the net. What an unbelievable goal from Arnie Hahn. Back in again, Gentile up. Crowd is there. It's a great goal. 15 minutes left now. 15 minutes between Holland and another World Cup final. Long distance shot is in. What a goal by Arnie Hahn!
If something goes wrong with your heart, or the heart of someone you love, it's all you think about. And heart and circulatory disease is Britain's biggest killer. It can be frightening, lonely, but you're not alone. We're the British Heart Foundation, the charity that will give you all the support and guidance you need. So to talk, call 0300 333 1333.
13 Oscar and 11 BAFTA nominations for Benjamin Button. An astounding achievement. Brad Pitt and Kate Blanchett are sensational.
I will never stop loving you.
Completely unforgettable. Epic and intimate. Simply spellbinding. Pitt is as good as he's ever been.
You're on your own road, Benjamin.
The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Vaseline Intensive Rescue Lotion is specially formulated to deliver twice the moisture of E45 lotion. To help very dry skin lock in the moisture it needs.
Is that your car?
Is that your car? Hey, is that your car, mate?
Is that your car? Whoa, is that your car?
Is that your car?
Is that your car?
Fact: the flu virus can live on surfaces for up to 2 days. And flu, like other germs, can transfer in an instant. Fact: Dettol disinfectant spray kills 99.9% of germs that can cause tummy upsets and runny noses. Dettol protects. Fact.
This is for you and your friends. 4 free Pay and Go SIM cards. Each with 500 free texts you can send to anyone. When topped up by just £15 a month. Share your 4 free SIMs and start texting whenever you like. Text SIMs to 66102 for free. O2, we're better connected.
Hey, homeowners. Some things are so good you can't help busting moves. Like getting up to £75,000 home contents cover free when you buy more than buildings insurance. And 20% off that too. Twice as nice. What's that, Mr. House? The kitchen sink's covered too. Call 0800 294 1010 now. That's 0800 294 1010. Don't be a stranger.
Enterprise rent-a-car for my trip. That's too expensive, sir.
It's not expensive, Mum.
Enterprise picks us up. Sounds expensive.
Pickup's free, Mum.
If Enterprise isn't expensive, you could have hired me an even posher car.
Turn the radio on, Mum.
Unwrap the perfect rental package. Great cars, low rates, and we'll pick you up. Enterprise.
When you're abroad, do your best to fit in. Learn the language.
Have a drink.
And respect the locals.
Doesn't make no difference to me if it's Dusseldorf or Darling.
All 4 series of Our Feeders Ain't Pet back-to-back for the first time. An ITV4 cult classic, Tuesday and Wednesday at 9.
More FA Cup tie action now, and it's Nottingham Forest against York City. York currently lying 19th in the 4th Division. Forest decided to roll the snow on their city ground, and the referee decided it was a good enough surface to play on. And indeed, the huge piles of snow around the ground is what's been cleared from the terraces. Well, it looked a good thing for Forest. Let's see how it worked out, though. ATV covered the game. Hugh Johns is the commentator. Forest are in the dark shirts.
Burns off then to Anderson. As Martin O'Neill, as McDonald comes to him. O'Neill taking his time, and a shot here from Lloyd. Oh! That will do! Oh! Larry Lloyd, just over 14 minutes. That was a screamer from the left peg of big Larry Lloyd. Graham Brown dived, and he was always going to miss it. Martin O'Neill dilly-dally for a long, long time, and got York right back in their goal mouth. Larry Lloyd comes ambling up and puts the finishing dig. What a goal. What a sickening blow for Little York. As McGovern now schemes for an opening, and the shot is just wide. And the crowd behind that goal were already roaring for a second one then. As York hesitated, McGovern went in, saw the far post, and knocked his shot just wide of it. Woodcock, Robertson. By Robertson. That's Bettles, and that's O'Neill. Wow. Gary Bettles could not have had a better chance to open his FA Cup scoring than that beautiful cross ball from Robertson, placed right onto his head. Bettles picked his spot and found that Graham Brown had picked the same spot to make the save. Bettles. That'll reach Robertson. Support inside from Bowyer if he wants it. No, he doesn't. Going all the way on his own? No. Off to Gemmell. Far post. Oh! O'Neill! And McGovern. Woodcock. Birtles. Robertson. Anderson tried it, and Birtles. Just over the bar. Just flicked the crossbar. And once again, York were really standing around watching. There wasn't too much they could do about it. Finally, the ball coming in from Robertson. Flicked around for a long time. Half cleared, and then Birtles trying to loop his header over Brown, just flicked it onto the crossbar. McGovern really fed back nicely to Anderson. That was handball. Handball by Jimmy Walsh, free kick. O'Neill sizing up the free kick. Free Colin Steele getting the men back 10 yards. Larry Lloyd's up in the box. And that's Birtles. Oh. Gary Birtles still can't get his elusive first FA Cup tie goal. Another great chance constructed by O'Neill's free kick right onto Birtles' head. Punched header, and Brown saves at his feet. Couldn't hold it, and the ball screws away for another corner. That was Birtles. Lloyd! Well, Larry Lloyd reckoning this has got to be his day. He scored one. Awfully close to getting another one. Gemmell there. Donald Ford, Bowyer, the cutout. Oh, neatly down by Woodcock. Clements. McKay under a lot of pressure there. Very tall lad, this Roy Kay, former Celtic player. He's finding it difficult to keep his balance on this pitch. The wee men like Archie Gemmell do better. There's Robertson. And McGovern. 2 goals to Nottingham Forest. John McGovern in injury or stoppage time at the end of the first half. That ball floating in and across to McGovern. Took plenty of time. Drove his shot firmly into the net. Woodcock then with the corner. Lloyd's up in the box, Birtles on the near post. As Burns goes in. Oh. Well, it looks as though Kenny Burns got the final touch on that one. The corner floats up from Woodcock. And Woodcock's corner floating up as Lloyd and Burns both go for the same ball. Flicks away, Brown just got his fingertips to it. Now Robertson. O'Neill. Robertson. Gemmell calling for it, and it'll reach him. Woodcock out on the left side, where Robertson normally operates. Back to Gemmell. And O'Neill, surely. Yes, 3. Took a long time coming. 3-0. Just over 27 minutes of the second half gone. And O'Neill gets the goal that he thought had escaped him so many times in the first half. Archie Gemmell, the man who was the architect of it finally, knocking that ball in, and Martin O'Neill making no mistake with that one. Forward into Pugh. Clements, Willings, Pugh. Now MacDonald. Staniforth has Willings to work with. Being forced away out of it. And Ford is still there, and little chip and far post is Randall, and Wellings is going to score. Yes! 3-1, some respectability about the scoreline insofar as York City are concerned. Gary Wellings, brought on as the substitute, has got the goal. And that build-up was pretty useful too. Ford looked as though he'd lost everything when he went into the left side, but he did get it across there. Randall unable to capitalise on the far post, but then when the ball comes back to Wellings, well, it was the easiest job in the world to bang the ball into the net past Shilton.
So Forest go comfortably into the 5th round, but confirmed to us yesterday that they are seeking to strengthen their side further by making a bid for Trevor Francis, valued by Birmingham City at £1 million. Gary Newbon raised this subject with the Forest assistant manager, Peter Taylor.
We were interested in Trevor Francis going back 7 or 8 years, even in our Derby days. We're still interested, and we have had discussions with Jim Smith.
Are you hopeful of signing?
Yes.
But of course the real question now is, are they also prepared to pay £1 million for him? And talking about players who are worth £1 million, then of course Kevin Keegan comes into that particular category. And from Kevin this weekend, news that he's got a niggling leg injury that has him more than a little worried with England's match against Northern Ireland in the European Championship just 10 days away. It's too early to say that I'm doubtful, he told me, but I carried the injury into a friendly game in France this week when I really shouldn't have played, and that didn't help. But I'm hoping to have a pop at Northern Ireland. Thank you very much for joining us again today. And I suppose whether you're an Orient supporter or not, you surely had to marvel at the wonderful goalkeeping yesterday of John Jackson, the man who held the cup holders at bay. At Ipswich, it really was the day of the Jacko.
On, said the referee, Reading Mills. Beattie coming into Marvellous save. This was Burley. And it's Woods. That's the cross by Mills, and Muren coming up on the far side. Wymark with a chance to tee it up. Oh, and what a save again by Jackson. And in the end, it's Mariner who puts it wide. Oh, at the death, Burley's right in there. Wymark's right in there. Oh, and Jackson has done it again.